Hey everyone, I'm Lucy,
And I'm Rachel.
and we're Solutions Architects working at AWS. Today we're going to be talking a bit about our journey into AWS, what the interview process was like, and also what skills are required to become a Solutions Architect. Rachel, to start off with, do you want to introduce yourself, tell the viewers who you are and what your journey was like?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Rachel. I am a AWS Solutions Architect, just like Lucy. We're actually almost basically in the same team.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. But I specifically work with small to medium businesses. And yeah, super excited to talk to you today.
So, Rachel, today we want to focus more about your journey because, we have you on the show today and I'm sure the viewers will be interested in hearing about how you end up becoming a solutions architect. I know you started off in an architectural degree and then you became a solutions architect, which, by the way, are two very different things, but even though they have architect in the name. Do you want to talk a bit about how you were able to make that transition and why you wanted to make that change in the first place as well?
Yeah, of course. So just to clarify, when we say architecture, we mean like for buildings essentially. So I was a designer before I ended up in tech. It's definitely not a conventional journey by any means. But when I was studying my master's degree, so essentially for architecture, you have a bachelor's and a master's. I got my bachelor's. Halfway through my master's, I realized actually maybe this isn't quite for me, which is a little bit late, but we live and we learn. But when I realized that, I started attending things like meetups, talking to people in tech, getting mentors and stuff like that before I kind of gained the confidence to essentially be like, well, I'm just going to stuff all of the years of studying that I just did and jump into a master's of IT. And from that point on, that kind of opened up opportunities for me to go into grad roles. So I was a grad at a consulting company for a while, and then I moved into AWS from that job.
Awesome. So for me, I studied a Bachelor of Information Systems. At the start, I wanted to become a consultant and looked into different industries as well. And then, landed up in tech after doing an internship at AWS. I think what people are really interested in is the interview process. They want to know what they need to prepare for an AWS interview and maybe more specific for the SA role. What are some things to look out for? Do you want to talk a bit about your experience and also what sort of advice you have for people who are going to be sitting an AWS interview?
Yeah, for sure. So, everyone who's watching these videos are probably about to go for an interview or are interested in a role at AWS. So you probably already heard about how intense the interview process is. I have to agree, I've never really been through 4 back-to-back interviews for anywhere else, but that was essentially what I had to do when I wanted to get this job, right? So unfortunately, it was all virtual because we were still in the middle of COVID. So it was 2020 essentially, right? And a lot of the questions that I was asked surprisingly weren't that technical, in that you're not being asked to do a coding interview or anything like that. For essays, essentially what they wanted to focus on was more around systems design and about what kind of past projects I've already done and the design decisions and the rationale for why I made them.
Yeah.
So it was technical in that sense, but it wasn't like I had to sit down and code, for example, or sit down and explain an algo to them.
It's not a coding job. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was kind of against what I thought was going to happen, because you often hear the coding interviews at Amazon are so hard, all that kind of stuff. I have no idea. I wouldn't know.
It really varies depending on the level that you're applying for as well.
For sure.
And also the type of team. But for a solutions architect role, it's not just about your coding skills or technical skills, right?
For sure. Oftentimes people think that because it is a technical role, that's all there is to it. But you have to remember this is a pretty much almost 100% client-facing role as well. So your soft skills, your business acumen are all really important as well. But that said, when I got into this job, I pretty much had neither of those things. So
that's not true.
To some extent, right? It was definitely something that I knew I had to work on. But, it's good to acknowledge that gap in your skills and work towards it. And that's something you can do on the job as well.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So for Rachel, she did the 4 rounds of interviews, which is typically the process for those full-time roles. at AWS. For me, it was a bit of a shortened process because I started off as an intern. So I had 2 Amazon loops, and going from an internship to a graduate role, fortunately, I didn't have to do any additional interviews. It was a straight conversion from my internship to a graduate role. I think for some people, it's kind of like a case-by-case basis. They might be required to do an additional interview, after doing their internship. So Rachel, what I wanted to ask you next is what skills are required to become a solutions architect? I think we can both share some insights into that since we're both SAs, but wanted to hear a perspective first. What do you think are the key skills, both technical and non-technical, that people should be looking out for if they're interested in becoming an SA?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we kind of alluded to it a little bit just then with the fact that I was missing some of those skills when I joined. I had the technical skills, but 100%, my client-facing experience was next to zero, essentially, when I joined. I didn't know how to hold meetings. I didn't know how to speak to people in C-suite, which is essentially who we are talking to pretty much every day, day in, day out. Being able to level set the kind of conversations we're having, depending on the audience, all of those soft skills are really, really important. But I think the most important skill to think about, apart from all the things we've already spoke about, really is empathy, because really our job as solutions architects is to understand the kind of business problems, their goals, all that kind of stuff that's actually important to the customer, right? Even if we are absolute geniuses in tech, if we're just throwing tech solutions at them and not really helping them actually achieve what they want, then you're not really being very effective as a solutions architect as well, right?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Rachel. It's a lot about empathizing with the customer, and a lot of the times it's more about the soft skills and being able to earn trust with them rather than the technical skills. But technical skills are also important in the SA role. I wanted to hear your perspectives on what do you think are some things that people who want to become an SA can work towards in order to improve their technical skills.
Yeah, I mean, I think technical skills are definitely important. You being able to actually understand common technologies, common patterns, common architectures, things like that are really important for you to be able to advise effectively, right? So you're not, expected to know really, really in-depth coding concepts, I suppose. Highly recommend trying to study for some of the certs. So that was how I kind of leveled up my cloud skills when I first got into this job, because when I came in, I basically had cloud prac and that was it. And I don't think that's really enough for us to really have good conversations with our customers. So going through the Associate Solutions Architecture cert really, really gave me the confidence. Maybe not necessarily really, really in-depth technical skills, but at least the confidence and the safety blanket that I needed to hold those conversations.
Yeah, an AWS certification, at the end of the day, it's a multiple choice exam, but it definitely gives you the confidence to get familiar with some of the AWS technologies by, at least knowing what they do. And a lot of those video courses as well, they have some hands-on lab exercises for you to, have a look into the console and dive a bit deeper and play around with those services. So that's something I reckon we'll both recommend, right? It's getting started with learning AWS certifications, but also trying to get a basic technical understanding of just the common concepts around networking, compute, databases, storage. And a lot of it can be self-taught as well, right? Speaking of self-taught, one of the best ways to learn is to join an online community and work with others who have similar goals. Last month, I started the Cloud Bytes community, which is a group to bring together our Tech with Lucy subscribers. If you're preparing for an AWS certification or looking to start your career in the cloud, I'd recommend joining the community on Slack. Alright, so this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you, Rachel, for coming onto the channel and helping answer some of the questions, and also just sharing your journey getting into AWS. Please remember to give this video a like if you'd like to see more videos like this, and subscribe to this channel to stay updated. Alright, bye for now.
See you guys.